Get over here. What's going on? I know. What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Reel Hunting, where we hunt for the good reels so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad. The Brett Man's right over here, and we are reviewing the brand spanking new Mortal Kombat movie that just came out yesterday to HBO Max and theaters, and we're excited to talk about it. I'm pumped. We'll be
Can
sure to.
Can I say it? Can I say it? Can I say it? Can I say it?
Freaking say it, yeah.
Cover your ears, especially for those. Like, lower your volumes on this one. Mortal Kombat!
Okay, now that we freaking blew up all of YouTube speakers ever, we're gonna go ahead and get rocking and rolling with this thing. So, do your thing, Brett.
Oh man, let's do the thing, man. We're going to start with the cast real quick, which we got, and I'm going to do my best to pronounce these names, but you already know I just butchered the hell out of names anyway. So we're going to go with Louis Tan, Jessica McName, and Josh Lawson, which is directed by Simon McQuoid, and is a producer that is of James Wan.
Hells yeah, all right. And then remember the spoiler thing there.
Oh, of course, because ladies and gents, this is going to be a spoiler review. So if you have not seen Mortal Kombat 2021, I suggest you all go over to HBO Max or head to your theater if it's open. Watch that movie, come right back to this channel so you can hear our spoiler talks about this movie.
Okay, let's get into what we like about this bad boy, man. Just right from the get-go, man. What kind of stuff are you excited about over there?
All right, let me get my handy-dandy board over here. Yes, first positive I like to address in this movie, I thought the fighting choreography was really good. Especially with that opening act with the Scorpion. Yeah. And just him just taking out all the Sub-Zeros as minions and all that. I thought that was excellent choreography. And then, of course, the fight between Sub-Zero and Scorpion at the beginning was really, really strong. It got me heavily invested into the movie, like right off the bat, giving me exactly what I like in a Mortal Kombat. And just to let you guys know, I'm no Mortal Kombat expert. I just play the game, so I don't know like the real detailed stories. I'm just a fan of the game and just know just a tiny bit because I know about the whole clans of Sub-Zero and Scorpion, where Sub-Zero's clan is trying to annihilate the Ever clan while the Ever clan just wants to be in peace. So, woo! Yeah, but fighting choreography, very high positive for me.
I agree, and kind of piggybacking off of that, I really like the sound design and the music that they threw in during the fights, particularly in the beginning of the movie and then later on as well. Obviously, some of the later fights, you get a subtle classic Mortal Kombat theme kind of thrown into the music. I thought that was really cool, the way they didn't just go out and play it. You know, that was kind of more subtle. But all throughout the movie, anytime there's a fight sequence going on, the sound design was awesome, and it was fantastic, man. Like, I thought that was really cool. Just to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying, it kind of got me into it. I thought it was awesome. My biggest freaking positive of this whole thing, obviously, man, it's freaking Sub-Zero, man. They did him wonders. He was set out from the get-go to be a badass villain, and he was, man. He looked cool, and he was completely badass, like the way he destroyed Scorpion. So they set Scorpion up, Hanzo, there at the beginning after he takes out all these goons, right? He just destroys them all, and then he gets destroyed by Sub-Zero, which is, he was set up for success. They really did Sub-Zero well in this thing.
Yeah, and you said Sub-Zero was cool, so that just makes this whole video, it makes me proud.
All right, everyone, chill. It's pretty much.
But yeah, I'll chill on the puns tonight. I'll do the best I can. But yeah, Sub-Zero is my all-time favorite Mortal Kombat character. I love playing with him. Brad can tell you all about how he used to whoop his ass with Sub-Zero. All you gotta do is tap that B button. That's all you gotta do. But yeah, Sub-Zero, dude, just such a star in this movie. I don't feel like if they built him up so damn good. So I totally agree with that. But another character I want to throw out there, but I thought really stole the show too, was Kano. I thought he was really fun. Like his automatically like establish him as the comedian of the movie, like the comedian character to kind of like break tensions and all that. And I thought he did an excellent job, especially when he went like pulls out the lizard guy's heart and goes, Kano wins.
Yeah, that was
And
cool.
then,
He was one of the better. He's definitely one of the better performers of the movie for sure. Absolutely.
that, and then of course, when he gets hit by the fireball with Liu Kang, he goes, wait a minute. How did you do? Like you shot fire? Like how'd you do
Yeah.
that? Like when am I going to get my power? Oh, like it's good stuff, man. Kano, very entertaining character, and for me, a positive in this movie.
Like when he said, "I'll invite you to get fucked," or whatever he says there at one point. They're like, "Hey, how do we beat the bad guy?" Well, you got to go here and get fucked. That's pretty much what he said. Yeah, he was cool. Yeah, man, just kind of going back to the whole Sub-Zero thing with and the fight choreography too. I just one thing I wanted to mention for sure when I was talking about Sub-Zero, I didn't mention a second ago, is that badass shot they show in the trailer, which yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Where he's walking down the street and he's freaking making the ice chunks fall down. That was freaking awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. And the way when he destroys Jax too, whenever they're fighting, and he shoots him with the gun.
Where he disarmed him.
Yeah. Oh! Yeah, that was it. I thought that was really cool. I like the overall tone that they brought. For the most part, that's kind of, we'll get into a little bit more here in a little bit, but obviously how dark they go at the beginning of the movie, I was really, like you mentioned already, was awesome, and it really got me into the story at the opening. And also at the end, whenever the fight started happening, like everybody got their mojo. Yeah, that was cool, man. It was just too short, man. But again, we'll get into that. But whenever everybody started kind of coming together and Raiden starts zapping people down, dude, it felt just like the damn most recent video games where you're just like, you're dropping in, your opponent's dropping over here, you say a quick line. They were even in the video game maps, like the locations, which is really cool.
Yes.
And that just, it felt just like that, and it had a really cool feel, and it was awesome. And I love that part. That was really exciting.
Yeah, and I have that as a positive too, like the video game feel. Like, so if you're like, as you're saying, that if you grew up with the game of Mortal Kombat, you can really feel it at times, especially when they do the quotes of fatality and flawless victory, like stuff like that. Just like, and they already, like, they knew what they wanted to do, so like they weren't trying to be all serious when they said those. So to me, that's like in the video game of me, that is a positive for me.
Yeah, it really did at times do a really good job of feeling like the game, even with the way they shot some of the fights, like whenever that chick's freaking heart gets punched out or whatever, and it kind of pans over into the hole through, like that's straight from the game, and it was awesome.
Oh yeah, kind of like when Sonya does the little, like, the shocker thing from Spider-Man and blew out her chest, and then you just saw her spot. Yeah, first off, that's a great shot.
Yeah, that was cool, and that's like when you get a kill there, like a fatality in the video games. Yeah, and it does that, and it kind of pans down, and you see the opponent through the hole. Like that was cool. I really like that. I enjoyed that aspect of it, and again, just the overall. Whenever they made it feel like the video game, and they a lot of nice little subtle nods to the video games too. Like whenever Kano's fighting, was it Liu Kang there at the beginning when they're doing their little training, and he keeps kicking him down with the same move. He's like, "Is this the only move you know?" It's like playing against Bert in Mortal Kombat. he's like he only does the one move and he keeps doing it, but it keeps working at the same time. So that was a nice
effective, keep doing it.
Yeah, it was a nice little subtle kind of nod to the video game format. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, and the two kills that I want to talk about real quick, and that's pretty much all my positives, is Jax's head smash against Rico. You know, where he gets the two arms and then just did that. I thought that was awesome. And
hell yeah.
And then goes, shit, these work. Like, I thought that was great. And also Kung Lao using the blade hat to kill Natalia or Natara.
Yeah, the little flying creature.
Which I would get to her in the mix section. Yeah, just where the whole hat spinning and all that, just getting that awesome freaking flawless victory, dude. Yeah, that shot was awesome. So yeah, I came out with a lot of positives, a lot more than I thought I was going to have in this movie.
Yeah, I really did. I mean, I just overall, just the brutality of it and everything was a lot of fun. It really did make you feel like you were playing. The way there's blood flying around everywhere, like that's how the fights are in the games these days. You know, you get those freaking finishing moves and all this
Mhm.
kinds of crazy shit goes on. I loved all that. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I think I did also kind of like the storyline of the champions of Earthrealm being like they didn't quite know what they were. Like they had the marks, and they didn't really know why they had the marks, and like that whole storyline of them kind of learning about themselves. I thought that was kind of a cool concept. I would have liked to see them kind of dig a little bit more into that, maybe, and maybe not rush the
Mhm.
story as much. But I thought that was kind of cool.
Awesome. Do you have any more positives?
No, I think that's it.
All right. I actually have one mix I want to talk about.
Yeah, I do as well.
Okay, good, good. Pretty much my big mix in this movie is 50-50 on the character looks.
Yeah,
Like the ones I thought really succeeded were Sub Zero, Sonya Blade, Scorpion, and Kun Lao. I thought all of them looked absolutely fantastic.
yeah.
And ugh, the bad ones, man, the ones that I just did not sit well with me. Goro didn't really. I didn't like his look. I didn't like Liu Kang's look, which I know that's shocking for a lot of people. But I guess that's just like the '95 Mortal Kombat. That's why I like that Liu Kang look better versus the one we got here. That's just a personal preference for me. Melina with the freaking CGI mouth kind of thing. I didn't really like that. The Tara and Rico. I just did not look their looks whatsoever. I just wasn't a fan.
See, I liked. Did you like? I like Corball and yeah, Goro was a disaster. I didn't even freaking. I barely recognized him.
Yeah,
Uh,
like the ones I didn't mention, just take them as they are. Like
sure.
to
Yeah.
like for Jax, like they didn't stand out, but they're not bad either.
Sure. I actually didn't mind Melina. I thought she looked kind of cool in there. And what about Reptile, dude? He looked kind of neat. I thought he looked kind
Oh,
of cool.
okay. I'll give you that one. Reptile looked cool.
Yeah, he was kind of cool. I mean, obviously it was CGI, but he was kind of cool at the
Hmm.
same time. Kano
Yeah,
looked
but
pretty good too.
that's the CGI that like you can like okay, yeah, we can deal with that being CGI.
Yeah. For sure. So for me, mix. I didn't mention in the positive that Scorpion was also done really well. Like Sub Zero was done fantastic, and so was Scorpion. He was completely a
Oh
badass,
yeah.
and he was a pleasure. So I did want to mention that real quick.
Well, they're
But
the two most popular people in the Mortal Kombat like franchise, so of course you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
give them the biggest spotlight of all.
Absolutely. They got that right. My negative here, or not negative, but mixed thing here. My biggest mix is Kano, man, because he really did. Okay. I think
Hmm.
he was the best actor in the bunch. Like he was the best performance, I think, by far. And I really liked his character at the beginning, like the introduction, and then again when he turns dark, but he just kind of goes off the walls there in the middle when he turns into a freaking Joker, man. Like he's a little bit over the top with his jokes. It's just one line after
Hmm.
another after another. It's like a Marvel movie there for a second. It's just a little bit too much for me. I mean, overall, like he was one of the most interesting characters in this thing, but I would have liked to seen him scaled back a little bit more. I think he was just over the top at times.
Okay, I can see that. I guess again, that's why it's the mix section. It's just what your personal preference is with that. So I don't blame you whatsoever. But he's just like one of those kind of characters that just sits with me that I enjoy.
Yeah, he was definitely a standout performance, and I really liked when he was introduced and he destroys Reptile there.
He
Like
gets a freaking knife shoved in his leg, or just like the
yeah,
Sonya person knife. It's like you did that on purpose.
I absolutely loved him at that point. I actually wrote in big letters on my positives on here. Kano is freaking knocking it out of the park. But then the more the movie went on, I'm like, dude, come on, just cool it down just a little bit. Like everything he said was a joke, and it was just like it's just too much over the top. And I just I lost interest in him after a while. But then he turned into a pretty good villain at the end. So he's just back and
Hmm.
forth for me.
Yeah, I don't I blame you on that one, dude. That's it for my mix. Are you ready to go to the negatives?
Let's jump into it.
All right, pretty much my biggest complaint with this is the slow second act.
Yeah.
I'll admit that I kind of was losing interest and was in the dozing off stage in the second act. And you can probably blame like, well, I just had Chick-fil-A and my tummy got full and I was getting sleepy. No, it was just a slow paced second act when they established the first act was going at a really good pace, and then the third act just as went in a really good great pace. Even though I kind of with you, I wish they would have done that longer. The third act,
Absolutely. Yeah.
but yeah, that second act, man, yeah, that was rough to get through.
Yeah, I agree because I actually think this thing's off to a fantastic start at the beginning. Like I was into it. I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be amazing. This is incredible. I love the way this is starting. Up until the point where up until the point where they reached the temple or whatever. At that point, I just kind of got lost when they met Liu Kang. I was like, at that point, I just kind of lost interest for a while, and it slowed down, like you said. It just the pace slowed down to a halt pretty much, and then everything kind of happened at the end that was badass and it was fantastic, but it was only like 5 minutes. It seems like it started. Everybody gets their freaking powers. Oh, I got the laser beam, yes, and everybody's pumped up. But then all of a sudden, like it's over. Like it all went by. Like right when I was really having a good time, it was all over. So once all the characters became badasses, you didn't see much of them at all. You saw them all make one awesome kill, and it was over with. And I know. The side characters were kind of just built up to, I know they definitely have more plans for them in future sequels, but that works in like a TV series kind of setting, but for a standalone movie, like it's not good to get through all this stuff. You take the slow second pace and then you jump into this ending where everything's going on and then it's over. And you get like this one little moment with each of the characters, and like Drax, not Drax. He's the Invisible Man. Jax. Jax gets in there, he destroys the dude, badass, but then like you don't see him again, and then just some of the characters just kind of disappear for a while, and like I didn't like that quite as much, and that to me was a big disappointment to see that it all kind of just got over with way too fast.
Yeah, and dude, and you brought up a great point. I feel like this should have been like a kind of like a TV series for HBO Max.
Yeah, like it really could work.
I totally agree with that because they easily could have pulled that off.
Easily, you could have taken so much time to develop all these characters, and you could dive more into the UFC thing that our main character was doing, which was another negative. It's like, you built up this whole character thing where he kind of sucks at fighting now, but it never really explained why. There was never a reason why he began to suck. It's just he used to be good and now he sucks, and then he becomes good again with his family gets threatened. I'm like, you could have dug a little bit more into that. You could have spent more time developing why, like if maybe something happened, maybe he killed somebody or whatever, I don't know. And he just it got in his mind. I don't know. There wasn't a good reason for that. I didn't think. And those are things you could have fleshed out had you had more time and maybe slapped us into a TV series. And each of these characters could have had their own little episode where they get introduced. And and then at the end you have a full freaking episode of this whole fighting thing, and it would have worked really nicely.
Yeah, exactly. And that was kind of like my negative too. I thought some of the story was lazy. Like it was. It was a little lazy, even though I will say the only strong story in this movie was for Scorpion and Sub-Zero. And I really wanted, I'll be honest with you, I kind of just wanted the movie to be about those two. I didn't care about like anybody else really. I just wanted more Sub-Zero and Scorpion because they established them to be badasses, and we got to saw their rivalry in that opening act too. And I just wanted more of
Same.
it.
Yeah, and
not it like a first act and a third act. Yeah, it was short-lived. Scorpion looked badass. Why couldn't we play more off to that? Because I thought the whole time that the main character was supposed to be Scorpion, like a second Scorpion. Yeah, but I got a little confused on that when the real Scorpion popped up. I'm like, okay.
The main character Cole Young, I didn't really care much for him. Like I don't even know who he is in the video games, honestly. I mean, I imagine he's in there. I'm
just assuming he was Scorpion too.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking they were building up. I'm sorry if I'm dumb and I'm an idiot, but I don't recall ever playing as this dude in a Mortal Kombat game. Really didn't care for him in this movie that much because I didn't think the performance was all that good. And again, I didn't think the story was fleshed out as it needed to be. Like they started to, like I said, that opening was fantastic where you see him in the ring and he's like, he gets his ass beat, he taps out. I'm like, this is really cool. And he's got the thing, but they never fleshed that out. They never gave you more of his backstory. And they did introduce his family and stuff, but then his family disappears for the whole movie. And then they come back and like, there's a story there that really could have worked and made you care for this character, but I just didn't at the end of the day. And the protagonist for me was Scorpion, and he, obviously didn't show up very often. So
he was just chilling in hell.
Yeah, he was just having a good time down there, man. Just freaking sucking people down. And whenever they fight down there, I guess. I don't know. Whatever he does in the video games. Um,
Yeah. The other ones, like just like the two minor ones I have for like negatives, are CGI use. It's
yeah.
for me got way over the top at times, like with the blood in the face. Like that's why I didn't like Melina as much, because the CGI on that look just did not look good to me. And then also from the '95, I love the tournament feel. For me,
Mhm.
I didn't get that kind of feel. Like I understand they try to be different, and that's great. But just for me, I guess this is really a mix. But I'm just putting it in the negatives.
Yeah.
I just like the more tournament feel instead for Mortal Kombat.
I agree. I was really looking forward to seeing a tournament in this thing, but it never happened really. And now I know they were kind of going for the more modern video game approach to where it's just kind of like Raiden starts dropping people in against each other in random spots. And, that's fine. That works. And I think maybe they have plans to do the tournament down the road. But again, that's another thing that's like, okay, you gotta stick the landing first before you can get to that point. And
right,
if you were doing a show, like the whole second season could be a tournament, where it's long and drawn out. So I think I really would have liked to see more of that people fighting each other moment that we had at the end, but more part of this that become a larger part of this movie. And I think that really would have done good things for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like just in a nutshell, it's like they kind of halfway did the story of the backstory of our Cole Young guy, or Cole Yang, and then they halfway did the tournament at the end, but they didn't do either one of them that well. So it's like you pick one or the other. Like if you want to make it story based, great, give me a good story. But if you want to make it fighting based, that's cool too. I'm along for that. Make it more about the fighting.
Don't intertwine them. Like they're pretty much just saying like, oh, let's go with this one. No. Let's go back to this one. Let's go to this one. Let's go to back. But yeah, you can't just juggle it, because if you juggle it, you just have one big mess. And that's kind of like pretty much what the second act was. It was just a big mess.
Exactly. Yeah. I think if they would have just picked one or the other and they got to the tournament faster and kind of bypass some of the story stuff at the beginning, I think it would have worked really well. Or if they would have stuck to the story more again and the fighting was the same length, it would have worked better. So yeah, that's pretty much what I think in a nutshell.
Yeah, and they could really took a page out of Bloodsport's playbook on that in this movie, in my opinion.
Hell yeah, dude! They
quickly got to the tournament and established the characters.
Exactly. That would have worked just fine. Just fine.
Yeah. And here's my last negative. I've been saving this particular dude for a reason. Raiden.
Yeah.
I could not freaking stand Raiden in this movie. I didn't like the way he looked. I didn't like the way he was presented. I didn't like his character direction. I really feel like you could have nailed the look of like the classic video game. And I thought it was a humongous miss. To me, my biggest disappointment, because I do like the Raiden character. It's just, to me, I hated him.
Yeah, I mean, I thought
like maybe wanted to prefer the '95 one, even though I didn't like the '95 one either. But at least he has sort of a look to him.
I didn't really mind him in this. Like again, like it didn't bother me. I thought he did fine for what they were given with. I mean, I do prefer the look of the original Raiden more, but he wasn't to the point where I hated him or anything. I thought he was fine, but at the same time, he wasn't a huge character in this. Like he did some things here and there, but he didn't, he was just kind of there to facilitate things. He just did this little, force field time convenience. Okay, cool. But anyway, at the end of the day, like, yeah, it would have been cool to see him utilized a little bit more too.
Yeah, because with especially how important of a character he is. And I guess you can go with the villain too, Shang.
Yeah.
Or I think I'm pronouncing his name right. If not, just make fun of me in the comments. But yeah, even
you're talking.
I didn't care about him. I didn't care about him either.
Shang Tsung,
I
didn't either. He was very.
Yeah, I didn't care about him either, because again, I just wanted more Sub-Zero.
I did too. Overall, I didn't think most of the acting in this wasn't really that compelling. With the side of Kano and Sub-Zero did a pretty good job. I thought the rest of them,
at best.
Freaking Scorpion, he was pretty solid too, but the rest of the gang was just mediocre, Lastly, for me, it's just it kind of goes with what I've been saying. It's just the overall tone of the movie. It shifts a lot. It starts out really dark, and then it gets really cheesy, and then it kind of gets dark again, and it's just like it just kind of goes back and forth, and it doesn't stick to a tone. I think if you kept that dark tone and that whole "oh shit, the world's about to end" kind of thing up, it would have helped it Or
Yeah.
if you wanted to make it more of a Marvel movie, they could have done that too. But maybe not have a wife and baby get murdered at the beginning of the movie.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and then, of course, I promised little Georgie I'd put this in my negative section, but he was really pissed off that the Mortal Kombat theme wasn't in this. That's not my negative. That's Georgie's negative because he really loves the tune of that song.
Absolutely, it's a great song.
But yeah, but other than that, those are pretty much my negatives. I said let's finish him.
Let's finish it.
In this case, finish movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you ready to rate this bad boy?
Let's rate it.
All right, let's rate it. I've been been arguing with myself the last couple of hours, like after watching the movie, of where to really put this. There's not we've been talking about it, like texting wise, and like I really can't tell. So I'm just gonna go with my gut. This can easily change later. I'm gonna just give this a 3 out of 5. It's a really fun, like, if you just want blood and guts and cool fighting and all that, this is a movie for you. But if you like more fleshed out characters and like details of the story of why they're freaking ripping each other apart in this tournament of Mortal Kombat, you're really not going to get it. And I really wish we did, because that would have been a nice direction to take Mortal Kombat, which again, a TV show on HBO Max would be a freaking brilliant idea. So 3 out of 5 is pretty good score for me for a newer flick.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to give it a 3 as well. If you're a fan of the video games, you're going to have a good time with this movie. Like, I mean, we both had a good time with it. There's no denying it, but it kind of leaves room for like, oh, it could have, and it should have been better. And like you said, had this format they have here really could have worked for a TV show, but there's just too much going on to fit into one movie. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 3.5. I'm sorry, a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
And that'll throw us in at an average Joe.
Oh, that good old average Joe's gymnasium.
Average Joe's gymnasium.
Oh, my sweet Jesus.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man. That's it for Mortal Kombat. I'm finally glad we are able to do a 2021 movie. I feel like our last one was since Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
Oh
seriously,
no. For you, it's boss level.
That's right, boss level. And yeah, Justice League, I guess, kind of counts somewhat.
Yeah, the Snyder Cut. So trust me, guys, we're getting ready to get into more 2021 stuff. I feel like theaters are starting to slowly make their way back on, and then we'll get some more 2021 reviews out there for you.
Absolutely, man.
So until then, guys, what did you all think about Mortal Kombat 2021? Did you really enjoy it and just had a really great time with it and you thought it was awesome? Or did you just thought it was just okay and just wasn't really your cup of tea? Let us know in that comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Snapchat, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Those links are in the description for you.
Absolutely. And be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe, because we are so close to having ourselves a dance party. We just need 200 subscribers. We're so damn close. And of course, ring that bell, ding, 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 so you know when the next video is up and ready.
And we will see you guys soon.
See you guys.